Hello and welcome to another tutorial. This time troubleshooting your extension that you're developing for Ghidra and it's just not working. Recently I had the problem with my importer plugin that I wanted to debug my own plugin code, but if I run the debug configuration from my project, I don't get the extension loaded in my uh, into the Ghidra. So if I look into here, for example, where I would expect it, it's not there. So I had the idea maybe I just create the distribution zip file of it and put it into the Ghidra folder. But then it would say you have duplicate modules loaded. So I was pretty much stumped and didn't know how to continue from there because yeah, how do you debug the debugger essentially? And so I opened a discussion that I will link in the description with a NSA GitHub and opened an issue there, how to continue from there. And so I learned a few tricks how you can check if your module is loaded or not. One of the things is, for example, that you have under help runtime information. It gives you a lot of information about stuff that is currently loaded. For example, extension points would be where I would expect my N64 loader, for example, to appear, but it's not here. And you can check the properties here that, for example, the Eclipse project here is set correctly and stuff like that. So yeah, these are used and still my plugin doesn't show up. What else can I do? When I debug as Ghidra, I also have the possibility to edit the debug configurations. And first off, I can make a checkpoint to stop in the main. And so I can start stepping through the code of Ghidra before it's loading my actual module to see what's happening about loading my module. Then there is a shortcut Ctrl-Shift-T to find the correct, where you can find the modules of Ghidra. And in here I can go and put breakpoints. I think yeah, this was a place where the external modules are loaded. I can just continue to go there and then debug that. So I can first check that my property for the external modules points to the right code, to the project folder. That is correct. So we do some more magic. Okay. Step over this. And we will get a long list of, or a tree better set of modules that are loaded into Ghidra. One more. Whoop. That you can all see in here, and there is my loader as well. Well, so far it's found my module, but it's still not showing up. So the breakpoint made before. As you can see, you also have a lot of output in the log. So if I would, for example, try to just use my tool, assuming it was just loaded, it should appear up here as an option to load. But even if I put a breakpoint there where it checks if my module is even valid for this particular import, that code is never reached, so it's not executed. Another thing I can do is when I have this debug configuration, I can give arguments to the VM, for example, verbose. This is usually pretty hardcore, but it will print out every class that gets loaded to memory. You can see all these class load printouts that say, yeah, this was loaded, that was loaded. You can put this into Notepad++, for example, and just search it. If your module came up, it should be in here, but I can already test that it won't be here. Quick search, 64, and it's not in this file. So it was not loaded, even if it was found. So what can I do now? Essentially, what turned out to be the problem here is class path and project file. Those are corrupted somehow. So the solution here was simply to close Eclipse, delete these two files. Open Eclipse again. And I have only the folder left in my project, so I can remove that. Do not delete from disk, just from the project. And now we can import it. We want to, oh wait, we cannot import it yet, because if we go to the folder, it will not find any project. We have to make Ghidra create those. Import Ghidra module source is what we use instead. We go to the same folder. Link it with our Ghidra installation, the binary version. I don't need Python for my project. Okay, everything is back. If I now run the debug configuration, we still don't find it under Install Extension tab, where we would normally find it if we just put it in the right place, the zip file that is built at the end. But we can check the runtime information again, extension points, and see there, it's loaded this time. So now if I import, I finally get back the option to use my loader, and that would then continue using my work. Let's actually do a breakpoint to see, because the goal was to be able to debug my code. So let's go to the part that actually loads the file. And here we are. We can put breakpoints, inspect variables, and so on, just do the normal debugging. So what was actually the problem? In my particular case, it was a difference in the class path file. The project files was similar, but let's compare these files. So besides adding the JUnit reference, it didn't change much up here, but it added the output parameter that was missing here. And at the very end, my output path essentially was missing the main subfolder. So yeah, you can try to debug this by hand if you want, but these are big files, so it's easier to just regenerate them and then having a working version that you can use to debug from. Well, I hope that was helpful, and yeah, thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.